Hey, vegan cyclists, here's my winners and losers of stage 3 and 4 of the Tour de France. Stage 3 was 212 kilometers with 5 category climbs. It had 3,200 meters of climbing, that's 10,600 feet of climbing. Holy smokes. And they averaged 40 kilometers an hour, that's 25 miles an hour for that whole distance with 10,000 feet of climbing. Just let that sink in, because that's insane. It took them 5 hours, 15 minutes to complete this course. Winner, breakaway action. If you are a fan of racing and you've watched the tour live, man, you are in for a treat with the breakaway, having a ton of action pretty much throughout the entire day. Lots of attacks, a lot of action, just a lot going on. And then at a certain point, they actually, a couple guys bridged from the pack up to the breakaway, infusing it with some fresh legs pretty close to the finish. Guys in the breakaway started to kind of mess around and not really start to pull. And so then there was a point where everyone was attacking each other, and it was really exciting. And for a moment, you might have thought that the breakaway could have stayed away. Winner, Drac Pack. They stay in polka dots. Taylor Phinney gives it up to his teammate, but at least the green machine is in polka dots. And they haven't had a lot to write home about. So they kind of have gone on record, say that they are gonna go for the polka dot jersey, try to have something to say, you know, for all their efforts. Those guys work really hard, they're super strong. So the idea is to try to get Pierre Rolland to finish in the polka dot jersey. As of right now, I know it's only stage 3, but they're in polka dots. Winner, Dan Martin, takes a 2-second gap on the field and a 4-second bonus and the finish. I know 6 seconds isn't that much in the grand scheme of things, but putting time into your GC rivals is always a winning move. And obviously, the biggest winner, Peter Sagan. That last climb was absolutely insanity. Richie Porte was up there dicing it up, trying to maybe put a little bit of time into his GC rivals, but at a certain point, Ralph Maika closed a huge gap that Alberto Contador opened up, and this is a point at where when Sagan did not have a team, he would have had to bridge that gap himself. And so now having some strong guys around Sagan to help him get that finish has obviously played really good for him. But even with the team, he was left on the front pretty early. Decided, you know what, whatever, I'm still the strongest dude on the planet. Takes off, unclips, rips his foot out of the pedal, puts it back in, and still beats everyone. Now that's a winner. Losers on this stage, literally everyone else other than Sagan. When someone beats you because they led you out and their foot came out of their pedal, dude, I'm sorry. If you're not Peter Sagan, you are a loser on stage 3. All right, stage 4. This is the big controversial stage. This is a crazy stage. 207 kilometers, 1,800 meters, that's about 6,000 feet of climbing. They averaged 42.4 kilometers an hour, that's 26.3 miles an hour. At one point, they got up to 65 kilometers per hour, that's 40 miles an hour in their lead up. That's fast, man. Winner, solo breakaway. Honestly, that solo breakaway made for the entire stage to be a little bit boring. If you watch it live, it was like, okay, right? It was just this one dude, but man, can you imagine going out and it was his first time in the tour and just being able to, I don't know, be out there by yourself? That's an awesome feather to put in your cap. Winner, Demar, the French champion, national champion. This dude avoided a ton of chaos in the final sprint where there was a little kicker on a climb that popped Kittel, and then there was a wreck, and then there was another wreck. And so, man, you know, honestly, sometimes winning, the first step to winning is not losing. And he kept it up, and he took it. Losers. So many losers to talk about on this stage. Losers, Cavendish, Sagan. Man, look. It's a racing incident. These guys get paid a lot of money. And Cavendish is a very experienced racer. And the thing is, dude, rubbing is racing, and Sagan does not have eyes in the back of his head. This, I would say, if you were gonna say all things are equal, they're kind of shared in at who is at fault, but I would say that Cavendish is more at fault because Cavendish can see what's going on. He can see he doesn't have room. He's trying to force his way through something that doesn't really exist. Sagan doesn't know that. Sagan is sprinting as hard as he can to win at the highest level. You can't expect him to have all this awareness like that. Cavendish has done the exact same thing to a lot of other people. And when you look at this closely, I know at full speed, it just absolutely looks like Sagan elbows him into the barriers. If that was the case, a DQ would 100% be justified. When you look at this closer, they bump, okay? It happens. Cavendish is falling, and Sagan puts his elbow out as protection. I do this, I like to do that. When stuff gets crazy, I put my elbows out. I don't want people around me. I try to make a little bit of protective zone. You can see that literally his elbow is in front of Cavendish. So there is no way he elbowed him into the barriers. I know a lot of people are gonna talk one way or the other, but to me, it is more the person's fault that shoved it in there. Cavendish created that situation. Peter Sagan was being defensive. You can't punish the defense, especially with a DQ. Maybe, and initially they had removed his sprint points and relegated him to last place. I still think that's harsh, but okay. To remove him from the tour, this makes the biggest losers us, the fans, the sport. You can't come back from that kind of call. They should have held on to that, waited a day. I don't know, man. Hashtag free Sagan, because that was weak, dude. As always, guys, vegan cyclist. Yeah.